Yo, what's up? It's Indo. Another episode, Rhoze Podcast. Special guest, Lex Carter.
Lex Carter here.
Exactly. Musician, creative, supporter, believer. I'm happy to have him on the show, and we're going to be here to talk a lot about interesting stories and just, again, the whole creative process between what it's like behind his perspective and just talking thoughts about the current game, the landscape. So tune on in. Let's go into it, though. Introductions.
So I'm Lex Carter, born and raised in Barbados, Caribbean. Moved to Canada. This summer is going to be 9 years now.
Whoa, crazy.
I moved for school. I was playing some football. You guys call it soccer. Yeah, then ever since my pandemic era, I started taking music slightly more serious. I've been running ever since.
Yeah, I mean, almost a decade. And what's been really cool about Lex is, like, personally, at least how I got to know him was, it was online, from what I understand. It was like a whole process where Rhozeland started off as our studio over on College Street. We were just trying to market, promote, do our thing. And we somehow just aligned with his journey, which is crazy because, again, Lex isn't from Toronto. Rhozeland started as a company 10 years ago in 2016. So that decade kind of like journey with us is kind of relevant with his in a way. And it's just interesting how things just come full circle. That being said, why don't you talk a little bit about the decision? Just like come to Toronto and just the whole story over there.
So you mean like just coming to Canada in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to be honest, like coming down to the end of, like, as you guys would say, high school was just secondary school for us in Barbados. I really 100% just wanted to play sports. I wanted to play soccer for a living. I mean, I live in either that or even be a coach. So I knew that I had to get out of Barbados to do that at a high level, 100%. So from early, like before school, I was thinking I want to leave. I was thinking about England, obviously the US, and then Canada. But I don't know. I just randomly, we had a trip to Canada the year before it came in 2016. We played in a soccer tournament here. And actually, we just really liked Canada. That trip 100% suited for me. So I was just like, nah, I want to go Canada.
Jeez.
So yeah. And that was summer too that Dre dropped Views. So he had the city turned 100%. Obviously, everyone was listening to Views. So I remember coming to the 6 that summer and posting up. It was cool. That was the cool thing to do. Post the CN Tower and all that stuff. So I think that just really put I want to come to Canada. And then I played for some schools and it ended up working out. And I came to Canada. And I feel like it was the right decision, 100%.
So, like, you've been to other places, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? You played at other places. So what was it about Canada that was so, like, captivating?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like, again, same thing along with, like, at 16, 17, I don't know, you're really obviously, like, heavily influenced by my time, like, social media and stuff. I feel like just the summer in Canada with, like, summer 16, how heavy Drake was pushing Canada. And I felt like the city was turning out. The city was, like, just going places, and I just felt like it was a place to be.
It's crazy, the Drake influence. The Drake effect,
it's
right?
crazy. And, like, again, I wasn't even the biggest Drake fan then either. I just felt like the energy.
Well, it's interesting how music does that, right? And 100%. Then the thing for me, we got to transition is, like, how did that go into music?
Yeah, to be honest, like, I feel like because football, soccer, it didn't go as exactly how I wanted it to go. And then again, the pandemic happened. So, like, you couldn't play, obviously, soccer. You couldn't do anything. Like, at that time, I was already, like, my friend was kind of like, I was trying to, like, manage him and be, like, his artist manager because he was making music and he was doing, like, his thing. And he had one song I was, like, doing decent numbers. I was like, I want to help you push it and stuff. So just helping him then obviously led to me messing around, making music too. And then obviously in the pandemic, I was just like, well, there's nothing else to do. And we started making a lot of music until eventually I was like, I gotta put out some music.
I'm liking that. So, like, how would you describe your style then?
I don't know, to be honest, because I feel like obviously I was heavily influenced by rap. Because I feel like when you're from the Caribbean, obviously number one genre is either like dancehall or soca or thing. But like obviously more now than anything. But back then I feel like a lot of people were like super heavy. Obviously the big artists would always play it worldwide. But like I was into like Joey Badass and ASAP Rocky.
A little bit more lyrical.
Yeah, a little lyrical rap. So like that was the kind of like music me and my friends were into. So I feel like that like influenced me when I first started rap. Like I feel like that kind of like slowed down my music process, because like when I first started like trying to make music, I was just like, geez, these bars these guys are writing, I don't know if I can write it.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I don't know if I could do that. So I, like,
yeah.
it might not be for me.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like playing around, messing around with it. But then obviously grew more. So I feel like that heavily influenced. But then obviously I'm still from like the Caribbean, so like I still listen to a lot of dancehall. I still listen to a lot of Caribbean music. So I feel like the combination of the two is
it's where you find that harmony.
Yeah. So that'd be my how
it's cool too, because like even outside of the music, one thing I feel like we talked about a little bit was like the style and the fashion and just how it all comes together, and how like when you travel, those influences that you see outside of where you come from kind of like are brought back to you.
Yeah.
So like talk about that process. Like how was that, just even implementing the whole international feel?
Yeah, no, that's crazy, because like I feel like again when I first traveled to Canada, like I started to see like so many different things. And like again back home in Barbados, like when you're going out on like a regular day thing, especially more back when I was like 16, 17, like you weren't wearing like shoes wasn't a big thing. Like you're going somewhere you wear like slides. You're going somewhere you wear slides. Like most people weren't just like you're just going like an everyday, like you're going to town or going to the supermarket. No one's gonna wear shoes. But like I feel like coming to Canada, I realized that like every day, like guys could be going to the supermarket. They're gonna put on like some people put on a fit to just go watch the supermarket, and I find that really interesting, and I like doing that more and more, to be honest. So I feel like when I realized that, like, you know, you could dress up to do anything, literally dress up and go anywhere. I feel like that started to make me more confident. Like, yeah, I can really just wear anything I like. And I remember I started wearing like short pants and like graphic tees and high cut Jordans. And then all that just from the internet era just blossomed.
It's a different time. Yeah. So I remember all those, like those snapbacks and
correct.
Like all that. It was like vintage, right? And then people would like. Do you remember that one brand, Tisa?
Tisa? Oh yeah,
it was like the brand with like Big Sean and those guys.
Correct.
It,
like,
right?
Another brand like that to me would be like Truck Fit. I don't remember when Lil Wayne was heavy.
I heard of that.
Truck Fit,
yeah, Truck Fit. That was a thing back then.
Was a big
Wayne,
thing.
right?
Yeah, correct. Lil Wayne was heavy on that.
They had a lot of those different brands too. Like I kind of even remember like Stussy.
Yeah,
and, like
Stussy for sure.
The SB Dunks and like Obey.
Correct.
Obey was a big
100%.
one. They had a lot of like interesting like clothing brands.
Yeah.
Well, the question for me now is like, how do you feel about where clothing and fashion is at now? Because it's like a different time for rappers and stuff. Like, so different.
I feel like more now than anything, like your image is important. So I feel like people try hard, if you get me. Like I feel like back then, like there's some people obviously that naturally like fashion more than others, which is just general the things. But like so back then, like you would know who's into fashion and like who's just like, you know, obviously they gotta look a certain way, but like they're not like deep into it. But no, everybody has to look like a fashion guru or a fashion girl. So like I feel like that's where like it says today, like everyone has to. You can't just be like simple anymore. Like you gotta be putting it on if you're doing anything like creative or thing, because you know the world always looks like if you're creative, you gotta bring something like creative or like extraordinary.
Well, that's an interesting conversation, because for the audience to know too, I find that Lex Carter is not only a musician, a fashion guy, but he's also a content creator. And I've had conversations with a lot of people in the past about how being a musician these days is just more than just making the music.
Yeah.
You got to do so much more to just kind of like take you to the goal field,
100%.
Whatever you want to call it. And I just want to get your thoughts on how you find managing all that. Right, doing the music, you also gotta look the way, right? Like, gotta move a certain way, like.
Correct.
How you finding all that, man?
I think like it's just what it is now, so like you gotta like accept it. But I guess I don't know if it was something like a old head, but like I feel like I wish that you didn't have to so much rely on like the content and like that side of it. But again, to me, it just is what it is. So like, either join and try to take yourself to the next level, or you know, just do the music and hopefully that. Because again, there's people that done that still, like music alone and blew straight up. So it's possible. So I don't know, it's all up to how you want to do it, in my opinion.
Well, let's transition to that. Like, how are you finding the music these days? Like, what's the goal? Where are you trying to take it? I know earlier you were recording with Marv today, right? So again, over here at Net Worth, the studio, shout out to them holding it down for us, and tell us about the process. Like, how's it been?
I really like making the music, so I'm always just making music, going thing. Like, I feel like every day, like, my plan, like, it kind of slightly changes, or like it's here and there, but like to me myself, I just feel like if you just keep making music and then like just let it go where it goes, in my opinion. Like, obviously I want to take it to, like, as all artists, take it to the highest level and carry it worldwide, but like to me is like make music as good as you can and then see what happens after there, because like I just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, enjoy making music. So
we'll tell the audience a little bit about your message with your music. Maybe you might want to tell them about the recent song that you did. Like, what was the whole creative process behind that?
Because I'm currently working with like two Bajan producers heavily a lot. Simon and Pastor Herbs, probably Simon. Shout out my guys. But I just be like making like I kind of is like a dance hall kind of like rap vibe in between mixture. So like, cause they both like from Barbados too, but they both like got like international songs too. Cause Simon, he lives in like I think like Sweden or something like crazy like that.
Dang.
Yeah, Pastor Herbs is in Barbados, but like he's always been making like rap beat style like different from early. So like I feel like it's a good combo. So me and them like work good together. So I just been making like tunes, I would say, that I think that would do good back home in Barbados mainly. So I just been cooking. I kind of like listen to Simon send me beats all the time. So I just be listening to some beats, writing, listening to some beats. Today I worked on like 3 beats from them. Two songs I had written already, and I want to just play some beat they had and just freestyle and see what come of it. But me and Simon talk a lot about the music, so you're just saying like raps. Like to me, like that's a big thing in music. Like the more raps you get, to me the better the song is gonna be.
Well, tell the audience what you mean by that a little bit.
As in, like, the more music you make, the more chances one of them is gonna be the hardest song ever.
So at this point, you're kind of feeling like it's a quantity thing. Just put it out.
Not even putting it out in general. Like, it doesn't have to be like putting it out. It's just like making the song like. Because you can make 1,000 songs and never put out any. But not saying you definitely shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You could do that, and then like, even by like when you're at 300 songs, like every like say 10 songs you make a really good song. By 900 you're making a good song every time you make a song. Like, it's almost like that. Like, more practice, more better, and then like the kind of beats you use. Like Simon, obviously they have a similar style that they're gonna make all the time. So like the more I get used to that style, the more I feel like you're gonna hit the pockets better in the beats, the more you're gonna understand what kind of like vibe the beat is. So I just feel like raps with like anything to do with like sports to like the more you practice something, the better it's gonna be.
Yeah. I think a lot about that too. I mean, just using that whole analogy. And I think for musicians or creatives, we really like to put ourselves in like the shoes of different like settings. Like for myself, and I'm sure, you know, you being an athlete yourself, just putting yourself that, hey, this is like a performance thing. You got to get your reps in and you got to like practice and put it out and perform.
Correct.
Right. So how do you find the analogies now, just like being an athlete and then being a musician, like just like comparing the two lifestyles? What's similar? What's different?
I don't know. I feel like that's just been a rapper thing from like the beginning of like
jump,
music,
right?
like jump. Like, rappers want to be athletes, athletes want to be rappers. I feel like, I don't know if I don't really ask that explanation or the sense behind it, but I just feel like the two intertwine. Good for like a lot of different reasons. Like, I don't know, like I feel like the person that think they could be one of the best athletes in the world probably have the same mindset of thinking that, oh, I could be one of the few artists that ever made it big. Like, first thing you got to be like a big dreamer, because again, to be an athlete is next to impossible.
You gotta get dreams.
Yeah,
dreams
so like,
going.
It's the same thing with music. You gotta be like thinking like, oh no, I could be able to take this to an insane level. So that is one of the big similarities in my opinion. What else? I don't know. I just feel like the lifestyle. I don't know. Like I always think about that specifically. This question, like I like to hear like different points on like what do you think like why athletes and rappers are like musicians life so intertwined, or why do you want to be each other?
At this point too, I find that being a creative is like not just putting yourself in just the shoes of like an athlete or whatever it is, but like trying to put yourself in the field of like all these other great things too. Like you realize that like the pursuit to be excellent is dedication and commitment, and that's with any other field. So even these days, I'm just trying to get myself being interested in exploring other things that I don't really know. Is there anything that you've been looking to outside, or that's been growing an interest for you outside of just like the traditional like music and sports?
No, I like that you said that, because like I feel like that's the main thing about being great. I feel like that's a big factor too. Like when you're doing things like music and sport, like you got to be great. So you got to like things that are like people being amazing at anything. Like it could be again drawing, it could be painting, it could be like like anything. Like just being great at that, I find it that's like a really thing that I like a lot. Like anything you're being great at, I just find it insane. But to your point, anything, I feel like skateboarding recently, like painting too,
that's dope.
Animation and something a bit like I feel like when I see like small animators create like small like just videos and stuff, I'd be like, damn, like this is insane how like someone could do this and like they put so much time and effort into this. I just find it amazing. Skateboarding specifically, like I find that mental, because I personally wouldn't ever, because I think it's like kind of like a reckless, insane thing to do, but like
the stunts are crazy, man. Sometimes what they're doing, especially with the ones with like the huge steps, they're just so freaking like if they like, fall too, it's crazy.
That's what I mean. Like, and I felt like you can't stop the fall. Like that's like something like to me, skateboarding. You know, like the failure is and like you have to fail. You have to fail. In a lot of other things, you could like kind of hide behind. Like even in music, like you could just make 100 songs and never put them out. So like in your opinion, like they might be good, but like you don't really know because you never put them out to fail artists at sea. But like in skateboarding, even if you're practicing at home by yourself, you're gonna fall down. So like you know that like failure has to come in what you're doing. So.
It's cool you really bring it up too, because I gotta ask you the question, like where do you find your confidence from when it comes to putting out and just trying these new things?
I don't know. I feel like sports, to be honest, because like I used to be like very laid. I'm still laid back, but like quiet, like not talk that much, like especially in soccer. Like I play for a lot of teams in Barbados, and like I just go practice, and don't say I would like not talk to people, but like I wasn't big in having like the most conversation or the loudest at practice. I was just always like just there, just cooling, and like I feel like I realized that kind of like affects you more negatively than positively.
That's fair to say, yeah.
Because like again, like not saying that necessarily it would always help, but if you're always talking a lot at practice, the coach is going to notice you more just by that alone. So like even if you're not as good, like you're going to get more notice because you like have a personality.
It's almost like marketing.
Yeah, correct. 100%. It's literally marketing. Like you gotta like always like show the best of your abilities, because like you never know who's watching or who's looking. So I feel like after playing sports, I realized that so much. So I just like made it my like into my whole lifestyle. Like why not just be
it's so interesting you bring that up, because for the audience knowing just a little bit of backstory, when I met Lex, and to be honest, this is just like how I felt. Like I felt you were exactly that person that you described earlier with the soccer game. Just like being there, but like we know that like you got game. You know what I'm saying? Like you got game, and it's just like you can say it's a negative thing, but like I feel like I'm like that too, because like I find that I gotta observe.
Yeah.
Right? Like just make sure that like, yeah, I'm there, but I'm not just being there just to be there. Like I'm observing, I'm taking it in.
For sure.
I'm just trying to study the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta study the game just by being there and just being quiet in a way still.
So
yeah.
listen, it's positives for sure, 100%. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a lot of positives, but I just feel like when you really skill in real life, negatives slightly outweigh.
Reaching out is so big, right? Especially in the space being a creative and a musician. I feel like people aren't reaching out enough. And like, I guess I gotta ask you, what made you want to reach out to us and just, feel like, hey, I want to go reach out to Rhozeland?
I don't know. I just felt like, why not? Because like, again, I came to the event and I liked the space, like, the vibe was good. So I was just like, why not see where I could go like further? Because again, after the event, I was just like, it was cool vibe. Like I didn't get like too much, I didn't get like too little. So I was just like, just let me see. Like, because of how it was, let me see where it can go. And then obviously I went and reached out. I ended up working out years later.
And now we're here, right? It's been like, what, like 2 years? Maybe even more.
Nah, more for sure. I don't know.
Like, damn.
It could be 3-4. I don't know. Like, I feel like that event was like 2021. 2022.
Yeah, it was like just after COVID for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So like
opened up
when
around
when it started COVID, so like probably 2022.
And for the audience, just trying to get a little bit of context of what's going on is that Rhozeland used to have these networking events back when we were on College Street. They were these mixers, just bringing in socials, creatives, musicians, all throughout, meeting each other. There were some raffle giveaways, performances, some conversations. And yeah, it was really interesting because for us opening up as a startup and just being in like this space, it was like our first time, quote unquote, playing with the big leagues. So we don't know who's gonna walk in the door and stuff. And at that point, like we knew you were different. Like everyone's, especially in the creative scene, everyone's got a personality. Everyone just kind of is like their own person. 100%. So like you start to kind of like realize their aura or just like their personality. And it was really cool, man. Just how like things just naturally progress because 100%. I find that our connection was like, you can say it was like really chill and calm, but it was, for me, it was just like an escalation.
100%.
Right?
Like, again, like when it first started, obviously, like I didn't know you guys too well. So it was just always like calm. And eventually like keep coming more and then like eventually became like friends and like became more cool and always relaxed and chill.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen us go through the whole journey from like, where we're at to like where we're at here now. And like, 100%. How do you find just like, again, just where we're at and what we're doing and stuff, just personally?
No, I find it cool to be honest, because like I feel like, again, you guys went through like, again, different spaces because I was there when you guys were upstairs first in your place and then it was downstairs. So like, I just find out like, again, like you guys kept like, even if like you felt there was problems and stuff, you guys keep just trying to combat all the time, keep trying to go like, obviously especially in creative world, there's gonna be 1,000 like bumps in your road. So like you guys keep coming back, keep going. So I felt like I could trust you guys to always keep going. So I feel the same way because I always want to keep going. So I feel like you guys had the same drive, the same ambitions.
Yeah, exactly. And I really appreciate those words because for me, I find the big technique or strategy that we're using is just being moldable. I think that's where I'm going with the idea of being moldable and making adjustments as soon as like tomorrow. Because again, the times are just going so quick with like tech and media. Everything, trends are just in and out the next day. So
100%.
How do you even find just sticking up with things and just standing out?
I feel like times change so fast nowadays. I just say like trends are in and out, stuff is in and out. Like, I feel like you just gotta do what you like. So like, again, if there's a trend that you like, just because it's a trend, that means you don't have to do it. Like, I feel like, cause it got a certain, like, especially in music, like there's certain types of beats that like become like of style or viral for a minute. So like, it had a Waveland Detroit beats were like the #1. Then it had like that Cash Cobain era recently where like those kind of like
slizzy stuff.
Yeah, slizzy kind of beats. So like, I feel like people would be like, man, I don't want to rap on that because that's the wave. But like, if you genuinely like the beat, why not do it? So like, you shouldn't let it define you, to be honest. Then it might be a trend that you don't like. You shouldn't force yourself to do it. You should be like, all right, I see why it's a vibe, but like, I don't have to be on this one. So like, once you do, to me, what you like and like stay true to you, you're gonna like navigate through everything.
Yeah, and that's where you get like the real audience.
Yeah, correct.
People that are like looking for that type of music
Correct.
and stuff, right? Where do you find just crafting the sound that you're making to? Like, where are you trying to position it essentially?
Yeah, because right now I feel like when I first came to Canada, when I first started making music, like I was getting a lot, obviously, international plays where like Canada, the US, like the UK, because I was making 99% rap. But like obviously now, like I kind of like lean in more. I make like some dancehall vibes and different vibes. I feel like I'm getting obviously more Caribbean fan bases listening. So like I feel right now I've been trying to like match it too. So like I want to have my Caribbean got music that they're gonna vibe to, and got music that the rap fans gonna vibe to. And I feel like if I get enough music for both, I feel like when the fan bases collide, it could really push me up. So that's just been my thing. Like I got like some good rap people that listen to my rap music want to get the dance all up to that level, so that like I feel like when I drop music, people know, and then again, if it's for this side, they're gonna listen to it, and then some people on this side might want to share it because they really like one song, like trace on your rap stuff, and then some people that listen to the rap stuff listen to the other dancehall stuff. So I feel like if I get that too to a certain level, I can get the fan base going.
So like, when should audiences be expecting like some new songs?
Very soon, 100%. This is June is about to end, July for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
right.
July I feel like I dropped like 2-3 singles, and it's summertime too in the Caribbean. Summertime is obviously parties and like soca, like that's where all the carnivals.
Yeah.
Alright, so like I kind of keep the music kind of close to that vibe, not too much like rap. But then I working with my boy Jules. Me and Jules actually trying to put together a tape.
Jules,
and Jules is more like old school rap.
For sure, the samples.
So like,
I'm excited for that one.
So me and Jules working on that. So I'm definitely gonna do that after summer too, because again, like back home is strictly like party music, so correct now. So I'm gonna play on that side, and then like after, me and Jules coming.
Well, I'm sure the audience might want to know a little bit about the contrast between being in Toronto or North America and then the islands. Island time, like
time for
all that
sure.
stuff. And how are you finding just navigating through it all, right? Putting out the music there and you know, both places.
I kind of enjoy it too because again, as I say, it's like two different like kind of vibes. So I get to like
It's like two
different worlds. Yeah, so I get to correct. So I got to play and live inside two worlds 100%.
Yeah.
Because again, my number one when I first started making music was rap. So like that was again the North America side, and like again I feel like I was still new to Canada too. So I was like more like finding out things. So the interest was still gaining up on like the lifestyle in North America. So I was still living that interest. But now I feel like I've been away from home so much that like the interest now is about like the lifestyle back home for me. So like I like because I go home every like Christmas. And I always be like, shh.
You going back like once a year?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah, at least, right?
So every year around Christmas, I go back home. And it's always just like, shh. These vibes, like, you know, it's always just good vibes. It feels like nothing is in a rush. Like,
it's a different time.
Yeah.
People are in a different time. But like, I'm curious to know how you're finding the development over there. Like, do you feel
music
like
scene?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Just like how Barbados.
I feel like Barbados on a whole, like I feel like Caribbean is on a up movement for sure. Like I feel like the world, like the Caribbean is really the next big like interest in the world. If you get me, I feel like the world is gonna be interesting. Like Caribbean music is on a rise, like fashion, like everything. Because I feel like you know, like the world is just growing as it grows, and like the world is looking for something new. If you get me to like to dive into, and I feel like Caribbean is super untapped. So I feel like the more and more artists and like the more the world like sees the islands, they're gonna be more tapped in. And on the music side, I feel like it's the same thing is happening. Like it's growing. Like Cartel recently been released. So like
really.
When Cartel came back home, I feel like the music definitely.
Vibes,
but it's gonna be like a year probably now.
Yeah, everyone turned up for that.
Correct, exactly. Turned up for that. So like,
Vibes Cartel.
That had Jamaica on a low thing on. Like I feel like other islands is catching up because Trinidad is having a big wave. Like there's some big Trini artists, and like Barbados now to me for the first time in a long time have like big like artists are going like Caribbean way. There's motion like, and it's not just from soca music, like, because soca is our number one genre, but like there's been obviously a few artists that take it different places around the world 100%, but I feel like no dancehall from Barbados never really got too far. So like I feel like there's artists, a few young artists now, Master T and Doja, like they carrying it to levels like you guys are hitting millions of streams on
doing the thing.
YouTube and stuff. Like before, because again, there's 300,000 people in Barbados about. So like building a fan base with 3,000, and then you gotta study how much percentage is kids, how much percentage is like old people that don't listen to music. It's a small fan base to build your fan base with. So like to carry it to that level to me is insane. So
that's super dope to even like look at it in that perspective. And then just looking at the audience too, I find that like for me, I'm finding there's a lot more Bayesian people I'm meeting these days, or just connecting with, or just noticing like everyone's getting out there.
100%.
So do you find that like that's like the motion, like people are kind of leaving to get out there, or like how do you find people even?
I feel like it's both 100%. Like more people going around the world. So again, because like there's a lot of people that generally don't know anything about Barbados other than Rihanna. So like the more, because again, like if you're in your community and you meet a Barbadian person and like you guys like get to like a formal level, like you're gonna be more interested in culture. So like just by default, you might search more Barbadian stuff. You might come out on a Barbadian artist, and you're like, oh, I know this guy. I know like a Barbadian. Let me see what this is about. You'll be more interested. So I feel like people leaving is definitely helping shedding the light more on the people back home putting in work.
Okay, I rock with that. And then just talking about the music going international, like you have the audience you're trying to hit with the Asians. I think that's just a natural with the community. So like what's the approach with like getting your music to be heard in other places and stuff?
I feel like like to get your music to like big places, you just gotta got like a decent fan base. It doesn't have to be a big fan base, but like a fan base that like believes in your music. So like anytime you drop, they're listening. So like to me, when you get to that level of a fan base that guys are listening to all your music,
they just rock with
just rock with your music just off of who you are. I feel like it's easier to expand and thing. But then to me, collabs is a big thing, 100%. Like you collab with someone from England, the people from England is gonna listen to your music because they know people. So like.
It's like the association right there.
Correct. So the more you expand your music and like the different kind of beats you use, like I got a song that's on a Detroit style beat, and obviously it's the most streamed Detroit song I got in Detroit because it's a Detroit beat. So like to me, like when you like tap into different areas and like expand, you expand by you feel.
I rock with that still. I mean, anything you want to tell the audience in terms of like what to expect for the music, or just anything that they should just get to know a little bit more about yourself?
I feel like the music for sure, they definitely like, cause I feel like 100% like anytime someone listens to my music for the first time, I always get like, obviously when you're a small artist, like people don't know what I expect. So I feel like I always get like good first impressions. So I feel like just give it a try and you're gonna like, I'm guaranteed you're gonna like at least one song. All the songs might not be your vibe, but you're gonna like one for sure. And I feel like that's all it takes. Like you like one song so much that you just generally start giving the rest a chance. So to me, if you guys tap in and if you like one song, guaranteed there's gonna be a few that you like. And again, heavy year. I got some songs dropping next month, 100% on my like Caribbean wave, and then me and Jules got a rap project coming. But I feel like the more you drop music too, I'm just dropping music, expanding my links, meeting different people. The journey is gonna grow.
How are you finding the scene over in Toronto with like Bayesian culture?
I feel like there's so much Bajans and Caribbean people in general in Toronto. Like it's almost an easy crossover because like there's generally a lot of Caribbean people in Toronto. So I feel like you find it like it's easy because I feel like I meet a lot of like Jamaican artists and Trini artists, and it's always like they're down to work, they're down to collab because the Caribbean is always one when we're outside of the Caribbean. So I feel like the connection in the city is strong.
What are your thoughts on like the diversity of things? Because like Toronto's a different place, I'm sure, from Barbados.
Yeah,
too,
100%. It's very interesting. 100%. I feel like all the different cultures just gives you like something else to like learn and grow. Like, because there's always things to learn in this world, and I feel like because Toronto's culture is so diverse, like, the learning is unlimited. Like, there's a million things. Like back home, like obviously it's Bajan culture, and like there's a few obviously like sub things and stuff, but like, you know, like if you're from Barbados, you know what I expect most days. Like the general life is gonna be, but I feel like when you come here, it's like everything is like something what I expect in Toronto.
Well, it's crazy. Again, like 10 years, more or less, like in Toronto. Where do you see the next 10 for your music and just where you're going in life?
Yeah,
like, do you want to stay in Toronto, the same lifestyle? Where do you want to take the music and just yourself?
I want to take it to a place where I could travel between cities easy. So like, few months I'm in Toronto, few months in Barbados, few months I'm in England, few months I'm in just different places I'll be able to travel, create here, move here, travel, create there, just move. Like, I want it to be to levels where I'm just like got links all over where I could just learn. Like in England, I have a place like Rhozeland I can go, and I'm always recording there, and I got good links. And back home, the same thing, and Canada, the same thing, and then like just different places like that. So I feel like that's exactly where I want to carry it.
That's dope. Well, and I think we'll call it a wrap. So thanks so much for tuning on in, everyone. We appreciate just checking out the podcast. Rhoze, another episode. We do this every Sunday, so tune into the next one. Appreciate Lex Carter just coming on in. Anything you want to say just to head on out before you go?
No, just shout out to everyone that's been tapping in and keep tapping in.
Yeah, okay. We'll see y'all later. Peace out.